Yo, what is up YouTube? It is your boy echo-YGO coming at you guys with a new deck profile. Before I want to start the actual deck profile, I want to tell you guys that I do not condone actually playing this deck, Empty Jar. I think that deck is pretty toxic, but it did win the tournament. It went undefeated. I'm gonna put the I'm gonna put the results up there somewhere, like in the frame, because apparently people think I'm like lying about these records of people winning and shit. But thank you guys for the support. GOAT videos are doing great. Thank you guys so much. Keep the support. I might get a little giveaway coming soon, you know what I'm saying? But I'll see you guys in a bit. What is up YouTube? It is your boy echo-YGO coming at you guys with a GOAT format deck profile. I got the first place right here. David won this Retro Pack 1 Sangan, which goes for what? Like $200 or something like that?
I don't know. I don't even want it.
Damn! He went undefeated 4 rounds playing what, bro? What did you play today?
I played Empty Jar today.
Bruh. Timo D? That's Timo D's reaction?
They don't really appreciate the degeneracy of this deck.
Yeah. Well,
so,
show us what's up, bro.
Yeah,
show us.
All right, guys. So, Empty Jar. So, starting off, we have the main man.
The myth, the legend right here.
So, of course, y'all know what's up. Cyberjar.
Yeah. Oh, shit, yeah.
So of course, Cyberjar is like the main player of the deck. You know what I mean? You go off with him, you're pretty much more than likely winning the whole game. In this case, I won the whole match.
He did.
The whole tournament.
I was there for it.
Exactly. Next one, of course, is his brother, Morphine Jar.
Little brother.
Little brother, you know? So of course, like Morphine Jar, it's surprisingly, I actually, in probably like round 2, one of my...
Timo D. Everyone knows Timo D, bro.
Actually banished Cyberjar the first round, so I actually had thought about actually scooping that round.
Yeah.
But somehow I was able to pop up with Morphine Jar multiple times.
His little brother.
And the little brother came through, so make sure to include this guy.
That's right.
The next guy we got is Sangan.
Oh, hey, the lighting is horrible, but
hey, it's all good. This is a Sangan tournament, so you got to play Sangan. But the main thing with Sangan, of course, it's retrieving both of these guys, mainly Cyberjar. So you want to get that guy. The next guys we got, you got to play triple tomato.
Tomatoes.
You got to play the tomato sauce. You got to have a lot of tomato sauce. So of course, same thing with Mystic Tomato. Typically, if you don't have these, if your opponent plays like a monster that's greater than 1400 attack, you typically will summon him, crash into him, and then you just start summoning him again in the battle phase. Get rid of all of them. Depending on the conditions of the game, you would either summon Sangan or Cyberjar, depending on what you have in your hand. But you could get to your jars pretty fast, and that's the tomatoes are the ones to do it.
Yeah.
So next,
shout out tomatoes, bro.
We got the TDs.
Oh,
Thunder Dragons.
Shout out the Thunder Dragons, bro.
We got the Thunders, So of course, this is simply discard fodder. It's to help thin out the deck. Obviously, it's used for graceful charity. It's used as discard fodder, so it makes it that easy. So in total for monsters, it's only 9 monsters. That's it.
That's all you need, really, right?
That's all you need. That's it. So only 9 monsters. I've tested it with playing additional cards, but really, this is all that I found to be the most utility.
9 is the ratio, guys.
Everything else, so that's 9 monsters. Now I got 31 spells ready for you.
No traps, huh?
No traps.
Wow, let's see it, bro. Let's see it. Spells.
So probably the best, of course, the main spell you want to be kicking off with. We got the Taiyus, Book of Taiyus.
Okay.
So of course, with the Taiyus, you're going to be popping off your Cyberjar or your Morphine Jar. So of course, same turn, you're going to set your Cyberjar, activate your Taiyu, flip that, effect goes off.
That's some bullshit, bro.
That starts the chain, man. So, it wipes your opponent's board. It's just, again, that's the main point of the deck. It's to go off with Cyberjar as many times as possible until your opponent decks out. So, you gotta have it. Next one, 3 Book of Moon.
Oh, you gotta go with the Book of Moon,
Enough said with Book of Moon. So, his brother as well. You gotta go with that too. I find myself at times using this for the most part, like if I revive, Cyberjar or Morphine Jar. Typically I'll instead of using like Shallow Grave or right away, premature, Book of Moon, Taiyu if I have it, boom. So you try your best to try to get this guy or this guy, mostly this guy, as quickly as possible to the board, and then you just start popping off no matter what. The next one, this is another main card.
What we got here, boy?
I'm gonna put this one to the side.
Oh, yo, I saw this card. You won so many matches with this card, bro.
The Shallow Grave, you know, honestly, these are the two cards, and this combo, you're winning. You're literally winning.
Said it. You tie you.
Literally, if you have these three in hand, you're literally winning. If your opponent does not stop you early in the game, you start going off with this, that's GG's.
It really was GG's, bro.
That was GG's.
That's insane.
And so, you know, of course, you know, for seasoned GOAT players that know how to play against Empty Jar, legit, you know, they know how to play against this. But, you know, for players that, you know, are, you know, they don't know what's going on, I just keep popping off with that. You know, if you have these three in hand, that's GG's.
GG's.
You know?
GG's.
So enough said with that. But basically, just to explain, so the sequence is you set Cyberjar.
Yeah.
So you'll set him, activate Taiyu, right?
Destroy everything.
Flip, right? Goes to grave, right? You still have this in hand, right? You get your 5 cards.
Yeah.
And then from there, you more than likely could get another Taiyu.
Yeah.
Play Shallow Grave, special summon again.
Yeah.
Play your other Taiyu, rinse and repeat. Rinse and repeat.
That's evil, bro.
It's evil, man.
It's evil, but you know what? You have to do it if you want to win it.
You gotta do what you gotta do, bro. You gotta do what you gotta do.
For real, bro.
So like these, like literally, this is the package over here.
Yeah.
Everything else I'm gonna be showing. I mean, well, there is another win condition to the deck, but it's later on. But I'll show you. Know, I'll get to that.
Let's find out.
The next thing is you want to make sure that you are able to pop off, right?
Yeah.
Your opponent could have Solemn Judgments. They could have Dust Shoots. They could have, you know, Raigeki Breaks. That's, you know, typically in order to beat this deck, you have to be prepared with the appropriate traps. So typically, in order to stop that and to slow, like basically to make sure you can go off, is using Trunade. Giant Trunade.
Triple Trunade.
You gotta clear the board. You gotta be able to clear the board. And you know, so before I commence with starting this, and this, right? Typically, I have to make sure that my opponent doesn't have too many back row. They got Solemn Judgments. They got Raigeki Break. They got, you know, Phoenix Wing. Anything that could like basically pop Cyberjar back and disrupt the sequence, right? This will help in clearing that. So you are good to go. It's mandatory to play Trunade. Mandatory.
Nice.
So, you know.
Awesome.
Another one I actually just added to the deck. I mean, I think it's pretty common.
Yeah.
But I had just added it just like last minute before I came. Heavy Storm. I got a lot of people with this today. You know, again, think of it like another Trunade.
Yeah.
But of course, you're destroying their cards. Of course, you're destroying their back row. So again, it's another obvious back row removal.
Yeah.
It's another obvious go card to always play.
Yeah.
Next, what I have, so of course, you know, we only have 3 Taiyus, 3 Shallow Graves, right? How do I keep going off with that, right? You got to play your 3 reproductions. You got to play these.
What does that card do for the viewers that don't know?
So with spell reproduction, this card, so basically, I'm running 31 spells, right? So you are not limited to how many spell cards you need to discard. So what it does is that you discard 2 spell cards in order to get a spell card back from your grave. So let's say if you need a Shallow Grave, you need a Taiyu. There you go. You could get Pot of Greed if you played it. You know, if you need to like, get, you know, Graceful Charity, whatever you want.
Yeah.
You know, so whatever spell card that you want, it's recycled back. You just have to obviously discard 2 spell cards. But again, this deck's playing 31 spell cards, so you are not limited in how many spell cards you need to discard. So yeah, it's mandatory.
Nice.
You know, in order to keep my bad.
You're good.
To keep popping off with your chains, your Taiyu, Shallow Grave, and your Cyberjar.
Yeah.
So yeah, pretty standard.
Right on.
Next, so of course, you know, let's say you go into the game and you don't have the necessary pieces, right? You need a better hand. Reload that.
Reload that.
Let's reload that, man. Let's reload that. So of course, you know, with reload, with this spell card, typically you're going to like, so let's say you know, first turn you draw an unfavorable hand that's not going to like kind of get you going. In order to help reload your hand or recharge it, you know, to have a more favorable hand, you'll play reload. You'll basically so the effect is like you have to add all the cards in your hand to your deck and then draw the same amount of cards. So of course, you know, let's say for example, I mean, this actually didn't work favorably for me, but typically what I would do is if I have like one of these pieces, typically the piece I care about is getting these 2 pieces, because if I have these 2 pieces, I pop off. That's all I freaking need, right? So let's say if I have Cyberjar just in hand, right, and I have 4 other cards in hand, activate reload, right? I want Taiyu, I don't have it, right? I'm gonna activate reload, send those 4 cards back, set Cyberjar, right? And then hopefully I get that Taiyu.
Yeah.
I activate that Taiyu, pop off, and then you know.
I see how it is.
It gets going.
So you're setting up just so you can
Exactly.
reload later.
Exactly, because I mean playing this deck, I've been pretty lucky. I mean, it does require luck, of course, to be able to draw those pieces.
Right.
But I've been pretty good about being able to draw what I need when I play reload.
Yeah.
So it really again the whole point of this is popping off with Cyberjar, Book of Taiyu, Shallow Grave. If you're able to do that, again, GG's. So reload will help you get there.
Let's go.
So next, of course,
What we got?
Typically with Empty Jar, you have to be a little bit patient. You don't want to pop up too quickly. Typically, the card that you're going to be setting the most is going to be Scapegoat. So of course, Scapegoat.
Protection.
Scapegoat's protection. Scapegoat's going to help you to, again, like you're running 3 Scapegoat. So of course, you get 4 tokens on the field. It helps you stall a bit until you get those pieces, into your hand. So of course, again, it's monster, it's fodder monsters that obviously you don't care about. I used it so many times today against opponents that are summoning multiple monsters. Again, very good utility card. Later on, like once you start going off, it becomes fodder. So again, like I was explaining to you all that you can use spell reproduction. Scapegoat ends up being fodder once you pop off. Mm-hmm. So I use it for, of course, protection, but then I also use it for discard fodder as well. But yeah, so Scapegoat.
Okay, shout out Go format.
Let's go.
Let's go format.
Let's go format.
Bro, this guy's scumbag. I got this Dekoichi instead of this thing, bro.
oh shit.
Featuring Tim O.D. It's all good.
TCG.
It's all good. Hey, I'm always rooting for you, man.
Hey.
Love you, man.
Damn.
Love you.
What a nice guy, bro.
Yeah, dude.
Playing the most degenerate deck, by the way.
Yeah, whole
For
time.
you in the last round, all
right, next thing we're playing, Feather of the Phoenix.
Oh.
So again, something else to help, recycle cards from your graveyard.
Yeah.
So of course, what Feather of the Phoenix does is you discard one card.
Yeah.
And then you would target one card in your graveyard, return it to return it to the top of your deck, right? So of course, typically I'm picking either of these two. Once I'm going off and I'm activating this card's so good once you're going off, because again, like if you have something like Upstart Goblin, that'll be the next thing.
Yeah.
These two really go hand in hand. Because you discard, let's say, Scapegoat, you need like a Shallow Grave, put that to the top of your deck, and then activate Upstart Goblin.
Damn.
There you go, extra card.
That's crazy, bro.
Extra card, man. And then we got the next set of cards, 5 cards left.
Okay.
It's gonna be one-ofs, actually.
Is it Trinity?
Well, not all the way to Trinity. Okay. I would say we got Pot of Greed, Graceful Charity. So of course drawing. That's the main thing. You're trying to get to your pieces as soon as possible. Mandatory to play these. Next, so I was talking about the other win condition of the deck. Actually, no, I'll get to that in a little bit.
Yeah.
This is actually what won all my games, actually.
Oh.
So I'm gonna get to that. The other one I mentioned earlier was Premature Burial. So again, let's say if you don't have Shallow Grave, right? Having Premature Burial and then also Book of Moon is helpful. It is a bit slower, of course, because basically these two are doing the work that this would do. But again, like there are scenarios where you won't have Shallow Grave. It'll be in the deck. It'll be early in the game. You're trying to see what you can do to pop off, and this is one of the guides that can help you pop off. So typically with Premature Burial, depending again on the conditions of the game, I'll tip it like if I get Cyberjar early in the grave and I'm able to pop off Premature, set Cyberjar, Premature, or Special Summon Cyberjar,
Yeah.
Book of Moon, set it, Taiyu,
And then
the
bang.
chain continues.
Yeah.
Chain continues. So Premature, very good.
Good card.
Last thing, this is pretty much like the winning, like at the literally like once you're like you've exhausted all your Shallow Graves, your Taiyus, right?
Yeah.
Your opponent is literally gonna have their whole deck in their hand,
Yeah.
right? And again, when you're playing Empty Jar, you're keeping track of how many cards your opponent has in hand, right? Because it sets you up for running this combo: card destruction and serial spell. Now, of course, like I know some people they may play more of these. You can of serial spell, but I just find myself just one each is good enough. Typically, again, I'm saving serial spell. Like I early in the game, I use it as discard fodder, and then I use spell reproduction. Like let's say I have one of the pieces. Let's say I have card destruction, right? I end up drawing it later on in the game. I'm not going to use it right away, right? It can be used, but typically the intention is like you go off with your Cyberjar combo, and then card destruction, chain serial spell.
Yeah.
So for the folks that don't know like what this combo does. So typically, you're going to activate card destruction first, right? Then you're going to change serial spell. The effect of serial spell is that first, for you to resolve the effect of serial spell, you yourself that's activating serial spell, you have to discard your entire hand.
Ah.
Right? Then the effect of serial spell in this case becomes card destruction. So it copies the effect of the spell card that's duplicating.
Yeah.
So in this case, it becomes card destruction. I don't have any cards in hand because that was paper cost.
Yeah.
So this becomes card destruction. Your opponent discards. Let's say they have like 20 cards in hand. They
draw
discard
20.
They draw 20.
And they draw
right?
another 20.
And then card destruction effect goes off after this.
Holy shit.
Discard another 20, draw another 20.
Wow.
So basically, you deck out their whole deck, basically. So
Wow.
and that's the point of the deck.
So not only are you decking out your opponent at the start with the jars,
Yep.
once they have a lot of cards in their hand, you just boom,
Yeah.
deck them out.
I'm basically just, I'm continuing to I want them to draw. I want them to draw as like once I'm going off with this, like Cyberjar, Taiyu, and Shelgrave, it's very hard for my opponent to have their next turn. It's almost like once I go off with this, it's a very high likely chance you're winning that. You're literally winning that turn. So,
Wow.
And then you're just waiting for these two to come to your hand. If you don't have it, activate your spell reproduction, get one of them that's missing, activate it, play it.
Insanity.
Yeah. So
Wow.
that's kind of it.
Awesome, bro. First place here, David got the Retro Pack Sangan. Undefeated, bro. Thank you guys so much for watching. It's been your boy echo-YGO and the homie David, bro.
Thank you.
Signing out.